Hello and welcome to the first episode of Talk of the Town podcast, created and produced by learners. My name is Peter.
And I'm Angus.
And we're going to be hosting today's episode.
We've asked a Learning and Employability Wellbeing Officer, Lindsay Abner, for some top tips for wellbeing, and we can all explore some of these over the next few weeks for the podcast.
These tips are, of course, in no particular order, getting good sleep, having a routine and a relaxing environment to help you get to sleep.
We'll also be looking at good nutrition to keep your body and mind physically well, and also to keep moving, such as going for a walk to get fresh air and experience nature and engage with other people.
Engaging with others is a great tip for maintaining well-being. Talking to people, physical contact, pets, joining clubs, finding a hobby for a sense of purpose and engagement. But in today's episode, we're going to focus on keeping active. And on the topic of keeping active, we have Caroline Carmichael here with us today from the Learning and Employability team, and she runs the 5-week outdoor wellbeing programme.
So Caroline, can you tell us a little about yourself and your work?
So, like you said, I work for the Learning and Employability team, and one of the many projects that I'm involved in is the Outdoor Wellbeing Project. And that project came from when we came back from lockdown, trying to look at safe things we could do when we were engaging with people around their mental health, and at that time we weren't allowed indoors. So we came up with and piloted a couple of sessions looking at wellbeing, but doing it outdoors. And then we did a little bit of research around that. And we found for some people it was really, really a good approach. And we took some of the key principles of wellbeing, such as taking notice, focusing on your breathing, trying to think of the others now off the top of my head, spending time with others, moving. Some of the tips that you've mentioned, we incorporated them into some creative activities that we would do outside.
Okay.
Well, you've kind of already told us a little bit about the Outdoor Wellbeing Group, so what is your own experience on using the outdoors to improve your well-being? How has it affected your life?
Well, I grew up in the countryside, and I've always enjoyed the outdoors. But when I was a teenager, and like many of us during our teenage years, you go through a period where, you know, your mental health is up and down. And I really found that taking walks in the forest, being creative outside was something that really, really helped me. And I've carried that on throughout my life. And actually so much to the point, if there's really, really bad weather and if I haven't managed to get outside for a walk, I feel a little bit caged. So, yeah, that's kind of my own experience. And if I've had the worst day ever and I manage to get out for a walk, it really does help me press the reset button in my brain so that it's absolutely, the world isn't a catastrophe. If that makes sense.
That's something I wish I could do, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, for people like myself, where it's just very easy. Because my source of comfort is just the unhealthy route of just like, there's a chocolate in the house, there's a hot chocolate, and that's pretty much it.
I'm not saying that I've never done that and raided my cupboards for chocolate. I think we've all done that. But I suppose if you can create the habit and you find yourself in that place and you've done it enough times, you're able to tell yourself, actually, if you go out for a walk, you're going to feel a little bit better. Or even if you go and sit in your garden and watch the birds and just listen to nature for a little, just even 5-10 minutes, then you're going to feel better. But the more you do it, the more you believe that that's going to help, and the more you can change that set of behaviour. But I think we've all searched our house for chocolate on a dark, wet day when we're not feeling great about ourselves, and we shouldn't beat ourselves up about that.
I just may add one more thing to that, because I've met a few people who are quite, who've been feeling quite down and all that, but they say they don't really want to go outside because some of these people don't have like pets, or like, because they kind of get worried about being seen alone when they're walking by themselves, like in the woods or whatever, like which has happened to me a few times. To them, it feels a bit awkward, which is why some of these people, like myself, have stayed at home. So is there any way around that to try and make them feel a bit more comfortable to get outside?
Yeah, I know what you mean. You don't want to be maybe going and sitting in your local park if, all alone. But I think that's a shame if people feel like that. Maybe just finding a circle route that you can go on so you're not kind of stopping, that might be a start. Mm-hmm. But everybody's entitled to be in the outdoors. And I think walking through the forest or things like that, maybe finding a friend to walk with is a good idea as well, if you can. I do understand what you're saying, but I think it's really important to remember you're not responsible for other people's opinions, mm-hmm. and you are allowed to go for a walk. And one thing you can do is you could possibly go for a walk for more chocolate, but find a scenic route for that. Find a circle route so that there's not a stop. Or find a quiet space that does have a bench with a view. It's very normal for people to go and sit and have a look. And you can also put your headphones in. And although I'm encouraging you to listen to the sounds of nature, you can put your headphones on and have it switched off. And that might give you the security that people think you're out listening to your music. And if you want to build up, maybe just go sit in your garden or walk to the shop for some chocolate at the beginning and just build on it. Take your time and build and build and build slowly.
Mm. Yeah. We've talked a lot about how people can get back to nature, get active, but could you tell us why it's so important for our mental health?
So as well as getting your daily vitamin D that we all are aware of that we need for positive mental health, in Scotland, with the lack of daylight in the winter, it's really even more important that we do that. But also there's just that sense of well-being if you get outside. There's research that suggests that 1.5 to 2 hours a week getting outside into nature and the fresh air can really improve people's mental health significantly. So there's the vitamin D, but there's also that feeling that you have when you get out into the outdoors. And actually, if you are interested in other well-being projects that we have, if you get in touch with the Learning and Employability team, we have a series of well-being projects that happen for the different needs of different people, but also Inspiring Communities in the Raploch campus have a wonderful Andy's Men Shed. But if you're also enjoying the outdoors but want that sense of purpose and not just going for a walk or sitting in a park, there's TCV, I think it's called, and they do a project at the hospital, the community hospitals in Stirling, and you can get in touch with them about their gardening project. And it's very low level gardening, nothing too strenuous, so you wouldn't need to worry about whether you were fit enough. So there's a couple of projects that you can get in touch with us if you want to have a look at improving your well-being.
Okay.
That sounds lovely. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us, Caroline. It's been a pleasure to have you here.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Well, that was really interesting. Joining us to discuss this is Ross. Would you like to introduce yourself, Ross?
Hi, I'm Ross. I worked for Sloan Timmins Hall and I worked in the Raploch office.
That's awesome. Well, it's great to have you here. And we're all just going to have a wee chat about what Caroline was saying about staying active, why it's important.
Exactly. And as someone like myself who's really had a lot of mental health issues, especially in my teenagers, it was definitely remind me of those awful times. So I guess someone will how you two feel about it, if you can relate to it in any way, if that's okay to ask, if it makes sense.
Yeah. Ross, you stay out Alloa way, don't you?
Yes.
It's a bit more rural than
Yes.
Stirling, shall we say. So Do you get out into the outdoors much?
Well, I go for a walk. Well, I walk from the Stirling, from my house to the train station, and then I get the bus to here, and I do lots of walking in about Alwa,
That's great.
and also do the gym most days.
Oh yeah.
Aye,
So you're quite good at staying active. then?
yes.
Certainly better than me. No, I've not been to the gym in years, but in terms of keeping active, I grew up in like rural Perthshire. You know, I was out there in the woods basically every day.
So since you do a lot of walking and go to the gym and all that, would you say that's changed your mental health?
Yes, I would say that it's helped a lot.
I've also been going to the gym recently, last year, and it's definitely, I wouldn't say I feel like magic, but it's definitely helped a lot.
It helps you get motivated more.
Yeah.
Aye, as I see, when I don't go to the gym, I'm not a very good person. But when I'm up for the gym, I'm really up for it, eh? Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets you into that routine that Caroline was talking about.
Yes.
You get good at it, it motivates you to keep going. It's like any hobby except for these physical activities. They release the endorphins in your head and, just make you smile just from doing them.
Yes, it really helps me a lot.
Same. It helps me out too.
Aye.
I suppose, like, you mentioned routines earlier, and I suppose this is something we can maybe bring up. I don't know if we can bring up just now, but because it's good to have routines, but the human brain likes routines, but also likes bad routines, which I've also been pretty guilty for in the past as well. So I suppose, like, how do you get out of bad routines?
Yes.
Because for some people it's a bit more of a difficult habit to break, depending on the situation.
As a lot of people I talk to that are struggling with their mental health, they'll often say like the first things they'd stop doing is exercise,
Aye.
is eating healthy, because it takes so much mental effort to get yourself ready to do those things.
I think for someone like myself who lives out in the middle of nowhere, Kippen, like the walks, that's the only thing I like about Kippen really. Is just like the walks around there. There's a lot of them. It's quite labyrinthine, so you can just kind of get lost there, which is quite nice. So it's not linear. So, but that's the only thing I like about it. Everything else is like a lot of my routines and what I do. I come to Stirling, and just driving here can be a complete pain, really.
And from all that talking about our routines, it's kind of bringing the importance of routines to the forefront. And I'm thinking maybe next time that's what we can focus on, is routines and purpose.
Definitely, it's very important to discuss.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be a good topic to cover. Finally, while you're out walking in nature this month, you should be keeping an eye out for those things that happen, seasonally, whatever's going on at the time that you're out. And right now, while you're walking out, you might be able to see the snowdrops coming up, the daffodils are just starting to come up, tulips soon, and you'll be. It's nice. I know it's difficult to get out in winter, but like going out in the walking and see all these flowers just about to start flowering, it's just nice to see everything getting back to normal, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you generally feel a bit better after the walk anyway, even if it's cold.
Yeah, even if it's cold, you will feel better afterwards, I promise. Wrap up warm and get out there.
Yeah.
I would agree that with that also.